Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at having symmetrical faces, but mostly we're poor at making art. My name is Benj.
And my name is Isaac. And boy, oh boy, do we not have symmetrical faces. We're just real bad at it.
Yep.
Yeah, like
And
I
same with
lost
our
the
art.
jackpot at birth and literally have like unsymmetrical ears, like two different ears. I'm like a walking, talking freak.
Yeah.
You know? Like you wouldn't really know unless I pointed it out, I think.
Well,
But
that's what people tell you. At least.
Benj just doesn't. I don't even know where to start. You have like a hair thing that makes it like there's no hair there and there's hair over there and just not symmetrical. But you know what we can do, other than having symmetrical faces, which we've clearly established through banter that we don't have. But we can make other people's faces symmetrical.
No, I don't think we can.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out today.
We can try.
We can try, because today we're going to play a little game where I've selected a face for Benj, a famous face, if you will. I think it'll be recognizable to most folks. And Benj has selected one for me. And we're going to try and split them right down the middle.
Yep.
And finish the faces. Like we're gonna artisticify each of the faces.
Yeah, so we're gonna have this. You might see a line that just appeared.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
That's an
do
art
do
line.
that fancy thing, where on one half of this line, we can't draw on it at all. You know, if I put the pen over here, nothing happens.
Wow.
Can't draw on it.
What kind of weird
The other
art
side?
is this?
You can draw on it.
Look at that, a nose.
This is what fancy people do.
Top button. There you go. Yeah.
And so on this half, there's going to be a drawing.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, there's a lot of famous faces out there in the world, but you don't really get to see them in true art ever. Like, people sometimes will draw faces to try to look realistic or look in a certain style, but none of them really do it in black and white ballpoint pen,
No.
style.
It's not true art.
You've never seen these people as art yet. So we're going to take their faces, their real, picturesque, like actual faces, and redraw half of them to be art.
Yes.
That way you can just close one eye and you can have a full view of an artistic version of this person.
Although we will admit, one half is not art.
Yeah.
Because
the
it's
real
color,
half.
it's
not
real.
even- I don't even want to talk about that
The
half.
other half is the art half.
We're fixing these faces. That's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do.
half of the face.
Half of the face. We're trying to give the people what they want, you know?
Yeah.
Because so often people, like, I'm disappointed every time I look in the mirror and I'm not in black and white, you know? Like, mimes must feel so happy
Right.
with themselves because they've painted themselves up.
Yeah,
you know?
and then they wear clothes that are just
It's
black
just
and
black
white.
and white. Like, if I wasn't a poor artist, I'd probably want to be a mime
Right.
for that reason alone. Although if I wasn't a poor artist, I also probably wouldn't care
About art.
about art.
Yeah.
So let's just be thankful that we are poor artists. And we're here to fix the faces of the world for you, dear
Yes.
viewers.
That's what we do.
And that's what you
We
want. Or
fix
else why
the
would you be
faces.
here on finishing the face day
Yeah.
at the Two Poor Artists Art Studio?
Yeah.
You know?
The thing we do.
It's just how it works. Because really, I mean, like, let's admit, a lot of people admit that black and white is better. Right? Like Zack
Right.
Schneider, guy who makes Justice League. You know how many people were like, "Where's the black and white version, Zack?" And he's like, "Well, you know, it just so happens I made the whole movie in black and white." You know, Godzilla, the newest Godzilla movie, Godzilla -1, the one
Right.
that, you know, the Japanese one that was like super duper famous. People were like, "This is great and all, but we missed the black and white ones of ye
Right.
olden days."
Yeah.
So the director was like, "Never fear, good people. Since I am in fact an artiste, I have a black and white version."
Yeah.
And you know, we're just going to take the same concept and apply it to still images.
Yes. Are you ready to see your face?
I am ready to see. Well, it's not going to be my face. I mean, unless you picked my face. That'd be really interesting, actually. I can
That
say for
would've
sure
been-
I did not pick your
You know,
face.
I should have picked your face. That's way funnier.
Which, yeah, that would have been great. Maybe we'll do that sometime. We'll finish each other's faces. Artisticify the Two Poor
No,
Artists.
the face I picked
Oh.
is the classic meme character
Oh, no.
from Jimmy Neutron.
Carl.
The one, the only, Carl Wheezer.
Carl Wheezer. Look at that guy. He is
I will hand you now.
So bad. If you've ever seen Jimmy Neutron, I feel like Jimmy Neutron is not a thing that survived like 2010.
Well, but this character did.
I mean, like in memes,
Yeah,
sort of.
like
right?
this guy's like a meme lord territory.
It's true.
Him, Shrek, SpongeBob.
It's funny how
Kermit the Frog.
It's Kermit the Frog. Why are you putting them with him? Kermit the Frog is like a 60s thing.
But they're all meme lords.
Oh, I see. But here's the thing. Like, I don't want to draw Carl. Carl's the worst. He's so whiny.
Yeah.
And he's in love with Jimmy Neutron's mom. And
yeah.
like, yeah, he's like the epitome of like every loathsome thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's why they make memes out of him.
Asthma-y, and he's
he likes llamas too.
Like, well, I mean, who doesn't like a good llama? Especially a black and white llama.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be hating on llamas.
I wasn't. I'm just saying that's one of his core personality traits.
I guess he does have a redeeming.
It's llamas and Jimmy Neutron's mom. Those are the two.
Jimmy Neutron's mom.
And her cookies.
His main thing. If you've never heard Carl from Jimmy Neutron's voice, go look it up. Just pause this video, open a new tab, look up Carl on YouTube, and you will just hear the sweet melody that is his
you can find
whiny voice.
Many channels of people that just like use AI to make songs that he sings.
Yeah, it's quite horrible, really. I mean, no more horrible than what we're about to do. I noticed this isn't just a face. This is like a bust.
Yeah. I cut off one arm so you don't have to worry about that.
That's what busts do. Isn't that weird? You see busts like busts I feel like date back to like ancient Roman times, right? I kind of always assumed busts had arms at some point, and then they just like got old and fell off.
No, they just
crumbled.
I think the artist was just like they're like partly working on the arm, and then they're just like, hands are hard.
See, I guess that makes a lot of sense.
And so they just like broke it.
But it's weird because you can still find busts of like modern things. Like I've seen like a Batman bust you can buy, and it's weird to buy like a half Batman statue with no arms.
Right.
Like it doesn't feel right. You know. Like buy.
But wouldn't it be weirder if it did have arms?
It probably would. It probably would. It's
just like this upper half of the body, arms.
It just looks like he's like stuck in your table or
like
something.
Flailing about.
I guess so. But does this mean I have to draw Carl's like arm? So I guess I do. I gotta draw a suspender.
I mean, the main thing is the face, of course.
All right. Well,
but if you want to finish the bust,
I guess I can do this. Okay. So where do we start? I think we start nose first.
I mean, that's what I would do for sure.
It's already pretty good. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nose first, working out.
Yeah. You got that nose.
I already noticed it's not the same shape, really. It's close, but
it's a nose though.
But same.
Yeah.
It's see, I'm just trying to like mirror things now, right?
His smile. Something else.
There's an eyebrow. Yeah, his smile is really creeping me out. I'm avoiding the lip area.
I kind of feel like his other eyebrow wouldn't have been that close to the other eyebrow.
I don't know. There's probably a bit more of a space. I see there's like part of the glasses that are cut off here.
Yeah. See, the thing is, this head is not like 100% straight on. It's pretty close. But, it's hard to get a picture of someone where it's like perfectly straight on.
Especially like a cartoon character.
Oh, but even like a real life character, how many people like pose perfectly parallel with the camera? Like an
actor and they have like a headshot or something, maybe.
But even then, they usually like have their head tilted at a 1 degree angle, which changes things.
It's true. Carl. I get this Carl and the Carl from what was it? Llamas with hats.
Oh yeah.
Mixed up.
Well, I mean, they both are so associated with llamas.
Both horrible.
Yeah.
What is that? Why is Carl a llama name?
Well, I think it's because of this Carl.
You think that inspired it?
I think so.
If you've never seen llamas with hats,
you probably just shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't. It's creepy.
especially if you're one of our younger viewers.
Yeah, don't go googling.
It is weird.
You don't belong. Okay, so if I draw, do I draw the eye like facing towards this one, so he's like going cross-eyed? Do I draw them both going the same direction?
Yeah, like do you go symmetry or
because I feel like if I do that, they're just gonna be like weirdly pointing at each other.
like right now though? What I find weird is the glasses
Why?
because like it doesn't
Line up?
like that one just disappears into his
Yeah,
head.
they're just like I don't know. They're just like too.
Like you didn't finish the glasses of his side and then have a space and draw
They're
glasses.
just, like, used in the center.
Yeah, but like I mean, the top of your glasses aren't like fused; they're just going into his head.
Oh yeah. See, this is where I would normally come over here and try to just like shade them together.
Yeah.
Oh well, he's got weird glasses.
Yep.
It's Carl. What do we expect? I'm just gonna make him cross-eyed.
That's like a perfect pill that you drew.
Thank you.
It's one of the best.
Perfect, and doesn't usually come up while I'm drawing.
No, I mean it was real well done.
Thank you.
Too bad it's the
Look,
pupil
I
of.
can see him now. He's looking at it
Yeah,
from
no,
from the artistic
You're
side.
doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, like
I will-
it's
I mean-
surprisingly. It's going. I mean, you also gave me like a
Props for
cartoon
their
character.
props for their due.
Gee, thanks. I also have done just circles so far.
Circles are hard.
I have avoided intentionally the truly difficult parts.
Mhm.
Am I trying to make it like exactly the same as the other side?
I mean,
Because like no one has completely symmetrical features.
right. I think you can choose for yourself. You can either make it like exactly symmetrical.
So like I feel like I have
But,
to take
like-
some creative license with the hair.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely doing something strange there, though.
It's giving it more.
You're like making it like
There's
I
more
think
fluff.
he has probably curly hair, but like he just has balls attached to the top of his head.
Yeah. Well, that lends itself to just the weird artisticness of 3D art.
Yeah.
Which you and I both know and loathe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do what I think is best, and I'm just gonna curlyify it. Because as we all know, hair covers a multitude of sins,
I
which
think
really
in
means
some
Carl
cases-
needs a lot more of it.
I think in some cases, though, it is the multitude of sin.
I mean, that's true, but I don't think this is one of those times. So it's got that angle.
I think of the things you've drawn, though. Oh, he's just a cone head now.
that's how he is. He's got a weird pointed. He's like a teardrop bend.
Yeah, but
He's like
I
a
don't.
teardrop.
It's not to that extent.
I think it is.
He's not a cone
Look
head.
at him.
I see what you drew.
No, but it's
I don't have a picture of him. The only picture I had of him, I chopped in half. Oh,
That side's drooping a little more. it's kind of like Carl might be
he
having
looks
like
like
a
a
stroke.
VeggieTales character.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, like if you
Like, if I just
you
covered up-
copied
Yeah, it's so
your
true.
side and put it on the other
Oh,
side,
man.
it would just be a VeggieTales
I
character.
love it. It's so good. It's so good.
Like I wouldn't quite know what fruit or
It's just
vegetable
like
it
a
is.
gourd of some kind, you know, like all the generic
Yeah.
VeggieTales characters. You're not quite sure. Like, what is Mr. Lunt?
Hmm.
A gourd of some kind, you know,
Probably.
like he's a lunt. Whatever a lunt is, it's a specific kind of gourd.
Hmm.
That is, it's got jowl on that side. Though. It's so droopy, like he's aged a little.
Yeah.
Having a stroke, maybe, like, you know, those kind where like half your face like droops.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like classic stroke kinds.
I really just want to like mirror what I've drawn now and just make a VeggieTales character out of him. That's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, these lips.
Yeah, he certainly got them.
These are some lips. Wow, it's so far. Oh gosh, the pen. Oh, sorry. Oh gosh, hang on. What is happening? Okay. Ooh. Okay. Stop it. You're making me make squiggles.
Carl's teeth and
This is
lips
definitely not pretty.
are just,
There.
they're already just
That's
so
not the
bad.
worst. It's not good by any means, but it's not like the
Like,
worst.
it no longer really looks like a VeggieTales character because no VeggieTales character would have a mouth like that.
That's also very true. Okay, let me just finish the... Find where the arm's supposed to come out. That works. I don't know why this arm's tilted up and that one's not, but... Got some suspenders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Classic Carl.
Pretty good. That is pretty good. We'll just do
You
some...
could do like his freckles and his dimple.
Oh yeah, there's a dimple. How do you do that?
No, that's a good question.
Dimple. This side's definitely drooping a little more.
You also you didn't draw his ear. You kind of didn't really leave much room for it with the glasses though.
Maybe that ear is just missing.
So I guess it's possible.
There. That's earish.
Yep.
Sort of. You know, that's not half bad looking.
No, it's not.
Carl is
It's
never looked better.
Definitely better than I expected.
The question is, do we try to improve Carl now? Because Carl needs all the help he can get. I think Carl would look extra creepy with a mustache.
Right.
But would it improve Carl? Like, you would expect Carl to have, like, a mustache.
Right.
But, like, if I stop here, I feel like I'd be pretty happy.
Mm-hmm.
But is that what we're going for? My happiness?
I don't know what we go for. My main question is if he had a mustache with the distance between his nose and his lips,
Where
would it be like the whole distance?
That. Oh man.
Would it be just above the lip, right under the nose?
I think it has to be closer to the mouth.
I mean,
but
real mustaches go from the nose to the mouth.
Carl should never grow a mustache. Like that's what we're learning. I think is just it's just terrible. You know, what's something Carl would say?
Something about Jimmy's mom.
Yeah, but like what? Didn't he have like a song that his mom would sing him?
The nunny nunny nunny, where she rubs his belly and
that one
lulls him to sleep.
Yeah, how do you what is that?
How do you spell the the hum?
Yeah, like what does he say? I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time since I've seen Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a lullaby with words. It was just nunny, nunny, nunny.
But, like, how do you spell that? I don't know.
You know, I've never seen it spelled. I've only heard him say it.
Maybe we'll just make him say something generic over here, like... Is that... Jimmy's mom? Or a beautiful and llama has 2 L's, right?
Yes.
Llama gal.
I think that's a smoother statement than Carl would ever say.
It's not really. It's creepy. I can't even. I don't know how to make it weird. Carl's ain't it? It's weird enough. Oh, that was a little out of control. There we go. There's Carl.
Yep.
That is Carl.
Are you gonna sign it?
Just some things. It's just so hard to put your name to. What are we titling this again? We're titling it "Finish the Face."
Yeah, finish the face.
Finish the face. I think I did a decent-ish job. I think the one I picked for you is going to be harder. There's something about drawing a cartoon character that's just not.
Yeah, like cartoon characters are meant to be drawn.
Yeah, mine's.
So that makes it. They're especially like these 3D model characters. They're meant to be somewhat simplistic. So
but like, look at how much better he looks in black and white.
Yeah,
just the hair alone. Just the hair alone. Sure, he's a little droopy. Sure, he's still Carl. But let this be proof that black and white fixes art. No, don't tell me that you prefer the colored version, because it's just not how it should be. You know? No offense to the artists who created Carl, but also lots of offense. Yeah, because
I mean, they did what they went for.
Yeah, they did. But why are you going for that?
Well, maybe they knew meme culture before it existed.
They knew that Carl would be memeified. Yeah, but imagine how much better memes would be if they were all black and white.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
Memes should be black and white. So if you're one of those meme people, do it black and white.
There he is, Benj. Your man, Charles Ingalls.
Now
is there a manlier man?
We have a rule to not, draw people we respect.
Charles Ingalls.
Does drawing half of a man you respect?
I think it bridges that line. I think there's enough going for it where you can draw him, because man, Charles Ingalls is just so great.
He's so manly.
Yeah, like hang on a second. Let's just love on Charles Ingalls for a second. Because if you didn't grow up watching Little House on the Prairie, first of all, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know
your
what
childhood was ruined.
Like this is like a staple in every household, right?
Yeah.
Like every parent gets to the point where they're like, we should watch this as a family.
Yeah.
Like it's the right thing to do. You know, like this is wholesome TV, as they call
lots
it.
Lots of lessons to learn.
Lots of life lessons.
You can look up to this man as your role model.
It is, everyone wants to grow up to be Charles Ingalls, because like, why would you want to be anyone else?
Yeah.
I guess there's a case to be made for like Mr. Edwards. Mr. Edwards is pretty great. Like if you can't be a Charles Ingalls, you can try to be a Mr. Edwards.
Yeah,
but,
like there's some backup examples.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't,
but then you also have like
manly.
your non-examples. Like you don't want to be a Nelly.
No,
you don't want to be a Nelly.
No one wants
Nelly
to be
is
a
just
Nelly.
the worst. That's the one that parents can point at and be like, "Don't be like that." And then when you're being bad, they'll be like, "You're acting a lot like Nelly right now," and then you just feel deep rooted shame.
Because you don't even need your parents to say, "Don't be like that."
No, because it's just so obvious.
Like no one who watches that.
I feel like every time I meet a kid and they just like don't know how to treat others, it's because they didn't grow up watching Little House on the Prairie.
Right.
Because like it just teaches you how to be a decent person. Like there's
it's so true.
It's so true. It teaches you
every life lesson can be learned.
And every episode is just packed full of them. You know, like what happens if you one day become blind? Like, how do you handle that? You handle it like the show teaches you to handle it. You know, like what if someone weird comes to dinner? How are you supposed to handle it? What instrument should you learn? The answer is the fiddle. Why?
Right.
Because Charles Ingalls plays the fiddle. Like you just learn so much about how to live life. Now, are you going to live up to the example that Charles sets for you?
No,
probably not.
It's like impossible.
It's an unreachable goal.
But it's good to have those unreachable goals.
Just look at the man. Look at him. He's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
even this
half of a man is just. You just look at him and you're like, I can't. I wasn't born to look as manly as that. No one was.
Yeah, he's in every way. And I mean, plus just being like a farmer and stuff. Like he's the man,
hard worker.
He's the manliest profession, manliest job.
Good father, good husband.
Yeah, he's not like the manly that some people are like. Oh, you got to be like working out and or like he's not like
but he's not
the weird
manly.
Yeah,
that's like Mr. Edwards,
right?
Like always wearing the flannels.
Yeah, like there's different varieties of manly.
Yeah, like
and those are just as manly. But this is like the fatherly.
Yeah,
like
this is like. Just perfect.
Yeah, the best.
He's so manly. He doesn't even need a beard to be manly.
No,
like that's a hard
weird.
level of manly to reach.
Well,
time to ruin him.
Yeah, it's basically
It's
basically Charles Ingalls and Superman.
Yeah,
the two manliest, beardless people.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ruin him.
Yeah,
but to be fair. The original, like the real Charles Ingalls, he did have a beard.
He did. He's also not. It's already too late for Charles.
And I started with the mouth first, which is weird because it's like I know
it's so feminine on your side.
I know I'm gonna mess up the nose even worse than the.
You don't know how to draw real noses.
Yeah, like this isn't a nose first nose. This is like noses are weird shapes.
What is that? Why didn't they get it? Oh, okay, actually.
No, like that's what noses look like. Right. Noses are just weird. Noses look weird.
Are weird.
Like it's just like it looks so bad, but that's what noses look like.
Yeah, it is.
His eyes.
I picked something way harder for you. I really did.
His eyes.
Carl was relatively easy. That eye is quite a bit higher than the other one.
What happens
on the prairie? Gosh,
when you're just
there's something.
So
there's something so off about that eye being misplaced.
He's got to have his eyebrows.
You still managed to draw some handsome eye there, though.
Like, do I even try for like the eye
Maybe
wrinkle?
You come back later.
Oh yeah,
I had to add the dimple. I think you gotta try for. Just start generic. We don't want people to run away offended quite yet.
Yeah, I mean you should get offended over this on his behalf.
Yeah, we're ruining like an American icon. Like, is there a better American than Charles Ingalls? Like, people would argue George Washington and stuff.
Like one of the founding fathers or something.
Like, I'm pretty sure Charles Ingalls was a better father.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know because
he's like a pioneer.
There's no TV show to watch about. About
you give me 10 seasons of George Washington on the prairie.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yep. But
he looks oddly like Abraham Lincoln now.
Yeah, on this side, it sounds like creepy Abraham Lincoln.
It's something about that eye that just screams Abe Lincoln.
I'm
losing Charles in this. Like, it's hard for me to see Charles anymore.
He's got like curly hair.
Yeah, you're just adding like a bushel of grapes.
Well, but his hair, it's like curly.
I'm
and
losing
good.
Charles. I can't see him as well anymore. Like, there's this weird thing taking over half of him. Charles never knew how to button up his shirt either. Look at that, just wide open on the prairie.
He didn't.
And no one complained.
Who would?
Yeah.
His head just disappears in this picture because he has like hair.
Not in yours.
I'm gonna draw.
It looks like he has an angel wing now.
I'm gonna draw in that hair.
Yeah, hair covers a multitude of sins.
Yeah, which is one problem with him not having a beard. I can't cover up all this sin.
Just keep adding hair, and you got to finish the hat. I think there's something about.
But see, the other hat just disappears into the hair.
Like,
what do I do?
The image of Charles is helping, but like if I cover up that half of the real Charles, This guy on the right is so creepy. He's so creepy. Like the real Charles is holding it together. Just why are you coloring in the hat? What are you doing?
like what? Like that's what the other
You
side
don't
looks
have
like.
to shade. Just what is? Okay.
But like that's just what the other, like the other hat. This is it.
Just do me a favor, Benj. Cover up Charles with your hand and just look at what you've done.
I don't want to. He looks like a goblin with.
He's so creepy. He looks like he has a long ear sticking out the side.
Yeah,
Like that's not. You need another line for the hat. I think.
I need
There's something that needs to, that helps actually. I think that does. You also need like his cheek so we can really see that his face doesn't go all the way to that hair. He's also just very inquisitively looking at us with his raised eye and eyebrow. Like it's impressive to raise your eyebrow. It's weird if your whole eye raises with it. You know?
It's just. He's just
not Charles on that side. You know? And I don't even know how to fix it. Cuz like
it can't be fixed.
like I'm looking at it side by side. There's just some special glow about him that you just haven't quite gotten yet. I'm sure you'll get there though. You'll get there. Yeah, you'll get. Oh, that's not. Come on, now draw the open chest. I mean, that's yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I think I think the hair goes down a little further. He's so scary looking. If I cover up the real Charles,
he's
way
so
he stares,
weird.
that stare he's got
He's
is
weird.
like,
He's like
a
some
villain.
He's like some creeper guy with.
Who knew? Incredibly handsome father figure and creepy goblin were so close. But that's what real art reveals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The real art
Like
reveals.
now you know.
How close
Charles,
he's just like generic Amish. Like that last line was just
he has like dimples, but they're far away from his lips.
mm-hmm. That's called handsome dimples.
Yeah, they're not the boyish dimples that Carl has.
these are dimples full of wisdom.
Like there's so much shading on this picture you gave me.
Yeah, well that's how it was.
Well, I know, and that's just
In the
real
candle
life.
lights on the prairie.
But like if I try to draw shading, it just looks like
shading,
more hair.
Yeah, no, I mean you don't have to worry about the shading. I think you're doing a decent job. Maybe draw like a fiddle.
Just like sticking up over here.
Yeah, I mean, anything.
Or like
just,
coming out of the chin.
You don't have to.
I don't know
Anything
how.
to distract from. Maybe give him a famous Charles quote.
What is a good famous Charles?
There's a lot of good
quote?
things he says in the show. You know? We could look up some. Let's see.
I think this is one of those cases where there's like too many. Because it's like he's one of those people where it's like he doesn't have like a catchphrase because everything he says is just
it's just the new best thing you've ever heard.
Yeah. Like he's not some like cartoon character that just always says the same things over and over again.
That's not how wisdom works.
No, not true wisdom. Well, when I looked up quotes from Charles Ingalls, I get this is the first one. So we'll go with that. He said,
just make him say Caroline. You know, every time he'd say something to the mom, it was always Caroline. He'd always use her name for dramatic emphasis.
I'm going with the first thing I read.
You could do one of his dad jokes from the show. Like, can you tell me what time of day God created Adam? Do you know this one?
No, what is it?
Just before Eve. Charles.
That is a good one.
You, Dad, you.
But I already started writing this.
Yeah, no, I see that.
This is one.
If you've never watched Little House on the Prairie, just soak this in. Cover up the drawing that Bench did. Because this advice doesn't come the same from a creepy goblin.
No, yeah. Like, if this guy said this advice, you'd be like, are you trying to steal my soul?
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah, just take your hand and cover up the Benjes, Charles Ingalls, and just say this quote in your best dad voice to yourself.
I'll add the dad joke too, because that's pretty good.
A pretty good one, right? Yeah.
What was the first word? Do you know? Or
It's, can you tell me what time of day, Dad? Can you tell me what time of day God created Adam? Just before Eve. Oh, Charles. This makes me want to go watch Little House on the Prairie. You want to just go binge watch season 1 after this? You know how much better we'd feel about life? I'm sure.
I might
like,
feel
I haven't
worse.
watched it in years, right? Like, it probably hits different in your 30s, right?
I might feel worse because I just destroyed his face.
Yeah, well, there's nothing that can soothe that quite like a season or two of Little House on the Prairie. You know? Remember how Little House on the Prairie ends? It ends horribly. Do you remember it? Do you remember the ending of the show?
I tried to forget horrible things.
It was like in a movie.
Mm-hmm. I do remember there being like a movie.
It ends with like some like rich business guy coming into town because eventually they're not on the prairie; they're in town, right? And he's like, "I'm gonna buy up the whole town," and then the people don't like him, and he's being a jerk. And so what they decided to do instead is blow up the entire town. And I think it had something to do, if I remember right, with like they had to destroy the set. So they're like, why don't we build a movie around the fact that we have to destroy? They blow up the town.
So it wasn't even like a true, like, because most of it's like the true story stuff.
I think there's a lot of creative freedom given later seasons.
And I mean that's kind of true for the whole show.
I remember it's like you watch them blow up the whole town, and you're like, what? This is the end?
Because the whole show is like it's true. There's the real life people. Yeah. But then they take a lot of liberties for entertainment.
For example, Charles in real life was not handsome.
No.
By,
I mean, he was...
movie standards.
He wasn't an actor.
No.
Handsome. He was handsome enough as a man. It's true. But he had a beard.
He did have a beard, which does help.
Yeah.
Wow. Charles Ingalls. Look at what you've done to the man. You got to sign this and title it and all that now. You already put too many quotes. I will say you nailed the little strands of hair coming off the side, though. Still feel like you haven't quite got the chiseled jaw.
Yeah, but
the one that you drew looks like he's going to hurt someone.
He is.
Like, I can't get over like how conflicting this image is to stare at. Because my brain is both telling me like, I should trust this man with my life and my farm. Mm-hmm. And then at the other side, it's like, I should run away from this man and probably call the police. Like, and if you just look at it straight on, you get both conflicting feelings in your heart. But if you cover up one side, you're like, I'm on the prairie and all is good. And you cover up the other side and you're like, I feel real uncomfortable with this leprechaun. Like,
this creature.
Yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's such a good blend of like I feel it's so too poor artisty. Like, it's just this one, the hotel room that this hangs in, you will not be able to sleep, and it'll also just have a continually running series of Little House on the Prairie on the TV. Like,
what do we do with this? Like, is it just the one half? Like, art,
we hang it like this.
Like, you see both halves.
You see both, especially on this one. It's real important.
But like, then it's like half not art.
We just put an apology up next to that side. Like, It's part of the creative process of showing how much
Because it'll just be weird.
how
You
much
open,
black and white
you open the
reveals.
door, everything's black and white. You know,
Yes.
black and white couch,
Sheets,
or
bed,
sheets,
curtains, carpet.
TV that only shows black and white.
Yes.
And then you just look over and there's just this half
maybe we'll put like
picture.
a filter over it or something, you know, like it'll be like a cloth covering it. And if you want to peek at the non-art side, you can, but we don't want to ruin the experience. You know, like yeah, a secret cloth that hangs over that side with an apology written on it.
Right.
Just like we're sorry that this is even an option. We understand that you checked into this room to see art.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they'll forgive us. I like
Perhaps.
I like this this game, this drawing thing. We should do more of these.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun one.
Maybe in the future. If you enjoyed what we've done, Charles and Carl, then just leave us a comment. Let us know
One character
how you feel.
that was ruined already, and another that
And if you have any other suggestions on characters we could potentially ruin or better make better in the future.
yeah.
Like some Carls, like as they call Freudians. Some characters like Carl really need fixing. Some characters like Charles are so hard to fix.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
like we made him
just
art,
ruined
but Charles in art, I don't know. There's just something
he didn't need to be art.
he didn't need to be. No.
He was good enough as he was.
Yes, because that's just who he is. All right, I can't look at him anymore.
We need to
spare the people at home.
end this. Get rid of it.
Move on
Go
with
watch
our
the Little House on the Prairie.
Yes, that's what you've learned. If you haven't watched it or haven't watched it recently, it's time.
And if you haven't watched it with your kids, whether they're grown up or not,
it's not too late. They can
go grab it. They have lessons to learn.
Your kids are grown and disappointing you. This can fix them in a jiffy.
Yeah. Just watch every season, every episode,
and results may vary, but they'll all be in the realm of betterness. Unlike watching this, where half of it is quite upsetting. See you next time.
Bye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.